Baby, you should let me love you. Shout out to my Jimmy right there. Y'all see my Jimmy? You should let me love you. No one above you. Give you everything you want and need. Baby, good love and affection. Let me be your protection. And love you want and need. Shout out to Mario. Baby, you should let me. Oh, Mario, where you at, bro? I used to like that little dude. I know he's a grown-up now. But anyway, this your man Rico the Opinionist. Whew, I am loving this weather. I can just stay like this. It's not, my other videos, y'all see, I can be just walking down the street. All of a sudden, my face just started glistening with the moisture, and other folks call it sweat. And but now I'm just strolling. I ate dinner a little while back, so I'm just trying to walk it off. And by the way, like, share, and subscribe. My YouTube channel is getting there. Just checked, there's like 479 of you have decided to subscribe. And I appreciate you. 479 people. So I thank you. We're getting to 500. Then after 500, we're going to 1,000. Then after 1,000, we're going to 1,500. And that's when I'll start having how to broadcast up, and we start having conversations with each other live and direct. I'll still be putting videos up, but I like to get into the practice of talking to you. And by the way, can y'all give my viewership hours up? I think I need about 4,000 something, a little over 4,000 viewership hours. I'm at 3,777. So I need y'all to really share these videos. I really need to get these viewer hours up, okay? So, but I thank y'all. They say I am organically growing this channel. Rico the Opinionist. My Facebook page is Rico the Opinionist. Twitter, Rico the Opinionist. And I'm back today. This is Monday, September 18th. I was home all weekend. I snuck home to Memphis to hug my mother and my sister and stuff, but most of, I guess one of the main reasons I went home was to celebrate my friend Tondela, who entered the 50 Club. She celebrated her 50th birthday this weekend. I was so happy to be a part of it. There was a beautiful private dinner, and then we went upstairs into the establishment and had a party. It was fun, old school, grown folks. Everybody looked really nice, dressed up and stuff, so it was fun. Congratulations again, Tondela, on reaching 50, and I can't wait to be at your 60th, your 70th, or your 55th, yeah. We'll do every 5 years. I can't wait to be at your milestone birthdays. And so, but anyway, let's get to it, y'all. And then when I got back this morning, I took me a nice brisk morning jog. Whew, it's really good for the soul. And I appreciated that. Trying to get back on my exercise regimen. But y'all, look, let me tell y'all something. Stuff been happening all weekend. I guess, and most importantly, the whole Deion Sanders his third consecutive win when they were 1-11 last year. So shout out to Deion. I'm going to start off by saying this because I have two topics I want to go over really quickly. The first one is I want to make a correction to a comment I made. And I'm not going to do this very often because I'm sharing opinions. These are my thoughts. But even in my opinions, I want to make sure, if it's correct, I want it to be correct, at least in the ballpark of correction, because, it's opinions. But this one piece I said in my last video, go check out on my YouTube channel. It's called Black Celebrities Called Out for Attending Colorado Games, but not attending the black games at Jackson State University. And there's one statement I made, and it was like a couple of lines in there when I'm talking about how black celebrities didn't show up. And I said, hey, Michael Irvin didn't show up for Jackson State. Where are all these people? And I don't think I mentioned Terrell Owens' name, but I was saying that they didn't. But upon going back, listening to that and having conversations as well as doing my own research, in actuality, celebrities did show up to Jackson State. I think a lot of people are thrown off because of, and this will take me to a comment that Deion Sanders himself made at this most recent press conference that he had after his win against Colorado State. He said something that makes a lot of sense, and also it points to it pointed a huge finger at this white establishment of media, and how black people are all constantly, looked over unless that black talent gets in white spaces. All of a sudden, it's something new. And I'm gonna go further. It's like, let's say for example, in rap music, hip hop, when it started, nobody knew about it until they saw some white kid doing it. All of a sudden now, oh my God, look who started hip hop. Look who's doing the hip hop, and oh wow, that's great. And so you spend the first 10 to 15 years doing your thing, and then when it gets on a white platform, all of a sudden the world has now discovered it, or it's been discovered. Talk about the Columbus discovering America syndrome. So having said that, I'm gonna go back to when I start talking about Deion. I'm going to get to exactly what I'm talking about. He made a very important comment to one of the reporters. He made a couple of them, but this one that really stood out for me. So I want to say, I'll just say I misspoke in regards to black celebrities showing up. They were showing up, but I guess when Deion, like Deion said, the cameras weren't there because I was at HBCU, because really you don't know who showed up. But also, that's a part of black media too. Black media, y'all should have been covering that as well. So, and this mass media, ESPN and the ESPN Sports and all this stuff, well, of course, they have the eyes on Colorado because, that's white America. That's white stuff. And and we start seeing Wu-Tang Clan, and you start seeing celebrities there. And I was just informed that the lust of my life, Omarosa, was there in the locker room. The only black female, according to my girl Mary Max, that she's the only black female there in the locker room talking to the young men. And so you have to ask, I guess most sisters will come down there eventually, but I've always liked Omarosa anyway. So shout out to Omarosa. What's good, Omarosa? And so, celebrities were coming down to Jackson State. Just the white media didn't show that. The only time white media loves to come to black spaces is if there's like some kind of dramas going on, shooting, fighting, killing, all that kind of stuff. But something wonderful is happening. They try to make sure that the mass audience does not get to see it. Not using their platforms, of course. And so a lot of YouTubers and bloggers, black YouTubers, black bloggers and stuff, y'all are a part of this now. So y'all are responsible for getting our messages out as well. Don't spend all your time talking about black relationships all goddamn day. Talking about black women's behavior and talking about black men's behavior. We got that. Y'all start using y'all platforms to highlight a lot of the cool stuff that black America is doing. Because a lot of you have well over 100,000 subscribers, a lot of you. So I just wanted to say that I misspoke on that topic, and I will, as they say, I will watch it the next time in the future. So for those who've watched that video, and a lot of people commented on that, and I appreciate all the comments, because that helps get the message out when you comment, and also sharing and liking, that helps. But your comments, good, bad, indifferent, or rude, I don't mind. Because I can't be tripping if I put these comments on here and then I expect people to only say things I approve of. That's crazy. So having said that, I want to move to my next topic, which is Deion Sanders' win. And congratulations on Deion Sanders winning his third consecutive game against a 3-11 or 3-9 team from last year, Colorado State. That what's his name? Jay Norvell talking trash about Deion. Well, I know my mother. My mother taught me when I'm around grown people, I take my shades off, my cap off, and then of course Twitter got on his ass and showed him in all the press conferences with his cap on. So you know that was just pure hate. And then they're coming to find out, y'all correct me, Deion Sanders' shades, I guess he has a shade line of eyewear or shades, and immediately sold up to $1.2 million in sales. So shout out. Man, black men are powerful. Black man mojo. Black man mojo. That's my thing. Don't y'all steal it. I'm talking about for the past 3 years or more. Black man mojo. Hashtag black man mojo. Black men are the archetype. I look at Deion as the Muhammad Ali of football. He talks a lot of stuff, but he's able to back it up. And that's the kind of, now that's what's called the kind of S-talk, crap talk that you need, but you can back it up. It's, like Tyson and Mayweather, talk that stuff and be able to back it up. And no one's thinking Deion is Superman. No one is expecting him to be, untouchable. So don't y'all get that in your head. So in case they lose the game, don't y'all get all excited, because we expect Deion to be a human being. We also expect him to be like anybody else who prepares for their craft, to be good at it. Now, if you're a person who's in academia, you're really good at you have a 4.0. That means you've studied, you've done the practice work, you've done all that. So it's expected that you'll pass your classes. It's expected that you'll have a high GPA. So Deion has done the work. He's a goddamn Hall of Famer. He's baseball, football, basketball from what I hear. I didn't know he played basketball. I'm just hearing that. But he definitely excelled in baseball. He definitely excelled in football. One of the greats. So why aren't we expecting him to be good at what he's doing now? So even if he loses a game, I'm not throwing it out there. I just don't want the haters to say, see, y'all thought Deion was doing all of y'all. No, we expected him to be what he is, that is good at his craft. He didn't win all the time when he was in the NFL. He didn't win all the time, but he won quite a bit. He still broke records. He still got the attention of those who said he couldn't do it. So this is what this is. People are saying, hey, how he gonna come up here like he can just coach? And Deion been doing it forever. So you have to respect the brother on that. It's just for the haters out there that's so mad that they're not even thinking logically. But let me say this. Again, I didn't watch the game. I don't watch sports like that, unless something important is going on. But I'm not into sports like that. But I'm into behavior. But I did go back and watch clips. I did go back and watch interviews. I did go back, check stuff out and try to get at least a kind of understanding of what's going on. And, can I start this off by saying this? Because people love to say, wow, this one the first time we have two African-American coaches going against each other in the Big 12. All right, let me correct y'all again. There was only one African-American, that's Deion. That's why let me cut the bullshit. There was only one black person coaching, that was Deion. The other guy is mixed race or biracial. Y'all gonna learn to stop giving away our flowers. Y'all gonna learn eventually stop giving our stuff away. This is a practice of white America. White America loves to call anybody that's not white black. And I don't like that. It's so racist, as much as the one drop rule was racist. And the plantation owner go in there and rape and put babies into the enslaved African women. And then when they come out, mixed, you don't call them white, you call them the N-word and call them mulatto, octoroon. You call them anything other than white. So how the hell, if they ain't white, how they gonna be black, you racist? And they're so sick that a lot of black people have taken on that kind of racist language, calling biracial people black. You can't be black if they're half. You can't be whole if you're a half. You get it? And I looked up his parents. I think his daddy was mixed race. His mama was mixed race. And guess what? Jay Norvell has a Nordic German, a Nordic Antarctica, very snow woman, white wife. And so if they have children, Jay Norvell made sure that he would be the last lineage of any semblance of blackness in his family. So the way most folks do when they decide to have sex with non-blacks and they want to call mixed children black. Get the fuck out of here. And that's the only cuss word I'm going to try to use. But that gets on my nerves. Did you hear that, Byron Allen? You hear that to anybody else? No, my black daughters. Your daughter look like extras on a Little House on the Prairie. So, anyway, but not to take away from his business acumen as a businessman. Shout out to you, Byron Allen, on that. But stop calling your daughters black, man. You know damn well your daughters ain't black. Anybody else? If you're a black man, you have sex with an Asian, Hispanic, or white, you have no intentions of having any black kids. So stop calling your kids black. If you're a black woman, you create children with an Asian, white, and Hispanic, whatever. You have no intentions of having black children. So shut STFU. So y'all stop saying there was not a matchup between two African Americans. Just like what's that quarterback of the 49ers? That little damn, I can't think his name, but they called him black. And there was only one black quarterback. There was the black dude. I'm talking about during the last Super Bowl. The matchup of two African Americans. Y'all stop repeating the talking points of white racists. You don't call biracial people black. But they sure ain't gonna call biracial people white. Even though that quarterback of the 49ers, I think that's his name, that white boy with the blue eyes and the blonde hair and the blonde-haired white woman and the clear children that he gave birth to. See, Jay Norville, in his press conference, I thought it was a white man. The way he spoke, the way he presented himself, and the way he used those, as that people refer to as respectability politics. Well, you know, my mama taught me. You know, talking like a racist white man, a jealous-ass white man. That's what Jay Norville sounded like. And in my opinion, he instructed them. His plan. Sanders represents what all the times you talk about in history. You talk about in history when black people are usually the first few in a large white space. And he's excelling. And that seems to make white men nervous because they so used to it being a good old boy, all white, good old boy network. And when a black man comes in there, not in there, it comes into that space, what they believe is their space. Coming in, he's not shucking and jiving and bootlicking. You know, he's acting like Muhammad Ali. He's one of them old uppity niggas. And we got to bring him down. He's talking all that talk. There was those southern white conversation about black men who had confidence in themselves and confidence in their ability. And so that's what Jay Norville sounded like, a southern white man with the arrogance. He's not even a winning coach like that. But he has that white male inferiority, that low ego when he see an excelling black man. Jay Norville wanted to go under and this is my opinion, Jay Norville wanted his little biracial ass, and none against my mixed race folks, I'm talking about this bootlick dickhead. He thought that he was going to hold the crown of one of the few, if not only, so-called African Americans coaching in the Big 12. And so an actual real black man showed up, he got nervous. He started looking at his position and look, you know, it reminded me of, what's her name, Sweets, from the movie The Color Purple, when Sophia came and was dancing with Hoppo. And she went to him, she said, Hoppo, who this woman? Now, you don't mind, this is my ex-wife. You know, it's my club. And she said, no, you said this is our club. He said, well, you know, that man's wife. Not that she left him. And boom, I got aggressive with old Sophia. And that's how Jay Norville behaved with Deion Sanders, like Sweets from Hoppo's place, when his actual wife, the black wife, showed up. Got upset, got nervous, low self-esteem hit. And that's how Jay Norville behaved. Then he turned into a sinister white coach and told his boys to go out and hurt the other team. Yeah, this is my opinion. That's what I believe. The same way Nick Saban tried to accuse Deion of paying one of them top recruits because they skipped Alabama to go to Jackson State. You know, that's a lot of white male arrogance. I mean, they've been living on top systematically for so long that they can't help themselves. How, you know, it's almost like, I remember a movie called Ragtime, and Howard Rollins was the star of the movie. That was my first movie as a little kid, 10 years old, something like that. And I saw a strong black man image on TV, and I've loved Howard Rollins ever since. And I've had the expectation of behavior of black men since Howard Rollins. And so, Howard Rollins was riding his new car into the town, and he said, you know, he just came in and took care of his business. And by the way, Debbie Allen plays his wife. Who's this motherfucker here, this dog? And so he was walking. He rode into town, and these old white guys who own the fire trucks, they's like, how that nigga get that new car? I mean, they're so used to being ahead systematically. They're so used to being in what's called the oppressor's position over blacks that they can't help themselves to wonder, nigga, how you making it? We making sure that systematically that you stay down. So Deion has come up in there. He's come up in there. Nick Satan, he brought a little race. He couldn't help himself. And I'm glad he got beat recently. I love it whenever he gets beat, because he is definitely a racist son of a bitch. And so these are my opinions. And so I just need black sports lovers to understand this, not only understand this, but be vocal about it. So Deion is there he's in a good place for a reason. And so what we're going to have to understand is, when we see this shit, call it out even more. Even in sports, black men, even in sports, call it out. And so they were asking Deion, you know, questions at the press conference. And in one question that stood out, he said, well, Deion, you know, Shedeur, well, he's really, you know, progressing and played up to his part. And by him being on this worldwide stage with so many eyes on him, what do you think about that progression? And Deion looked at him and said, what you talking about? He been like this. You know, but see, I guess y'all just discovered television sets when we came to Colorado, in a sense. He was like this at HBCU. I guess y'all weren't there. Y'all weren't paying attention. I guess everybody just got TV sets. I said, you know what? Good response. It's almost like until they see it, it ain't never happening. And I'm so glad he said that. And that's a very pivotal comment, very poignant comment for him to make. Because it's a shame that a lot of us don't understand how they play games and how they've been playing games. And when Deion made that comment just like that, I said, there you go, right there. That's why you are where you are, because you're the person who can say these things and not try to play the game. Because we have a lot of black people that's been in particular spaces, but they were never brave enough to call it what it was. And so when he said that, I said, bingo, there it is. He said, what you mean? Shedeur has always been like this. He's always played like this. But I guess now y'all just discovered, or y'all TV sets must just got discovered, or whatever. He said, y'all just didn't know. Y'all just didn't come down to the black school to see the black players, which they don't do. It's like they don't understand the talents of black kids until they go to white schools. And black kids, and shout out to 100 and some odd years of HBCUs, have been killing it on the gridiron for over 100 years, but I guess they don't become special until they get that, I guess, that white validation. So I was glad he said that. And I hope a lot of y'all picked that up. Go back and watch the interview. Everybody's replaying it on all your favorite YouTube channels. Or yeah, they're playing them. So go back and just listen to that part. And then I love the part of the video with Shedeur, when the little punk ass Jay Novel tried to come up, and you know how at the end of the game they do the coaches daps and all that. And so Shedeur was like, man, going on with that shit. He put his shoulder pad and everything between them. Man, get up out of here. Shedeur wasn't playing. And, you know, not only is Deion his coach, but most importantly, that's his daddy. And so he's like, yeah, you gonna talk shit about my dad? No, you get your look. And then you had your boys come out and try to hurt us. You know, Shedeur had no smiles. He was completely with the shit, and was ready for anybody who needed their work. And that's how you're supposed to be. And so I'm proud of that father-son's dynamic. I'm proud of his connection with the entire team and how he gives everybody an opportunity to play. No, it's cool. And I heard something really ignorant as it relates to the wide range of support that Deion Sanders has been receiving. Somebody wrote on Instagram, said, some of the same people that was mad at him or hating on him because he left Jackson State, now they all cheering for him and supporting him. He said, sadly, a lot of the same people who were hating on him because he left Jackson State or upset with him because he left Jackson State to go to Colorado are now cheering for him and supporting him. And I responded to that guy. I said, it's nothing sad about it. What it is just natural behavior. The folks who were upset or disappointed in Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State is just what it was. They were disappointed. That doesn't mean they didn't want him to succeed or even be great. They were disappointed. So what you saw was people having intelligence or the intellectual wherewithal to, yeah, I'm disappointed, but I don't want him to stop thriving. So anybody else who thinks like this jackass that said that, you're stupid. People can be disappointed in certain behaviors or certain decision making, but then they can also say, you know, I'm still going to cheer him or her on because what Deion is doing there is some significance. It's unfortunate that we have not had I guess a very relevant, present, famous athlete to come to a HBCU and quote unquote stick it out, where you know, wherever the best talent goes, the mainstream follows, and it would have been great. But I guess Deion, as he said, he has another path. He has his own path, and we have to look at it like that. But even when he's in that space, making comments like that still helps us out, because this is not the first time he's brought up HBCUs in his press conferences. So that's the least we can ask for. Because some people leave black and never look back. Don't even mention blackness. They don't. And that's a lot of your favorite politicians and celebrities. But Deion is a different dude, you know, and he's not the only one who's good at what he's done athletically or as relates to his profession. There's a lot of black people who are popular and famous, but they don't dot the campus of HBCU. A lot of these people, y'all spend y'all money to go to at the movies and other sporting events and R&B and rap. They don't come down there unless y'all pay them $1,000. They don't come there. They don't mention HBCUs as to promote them or to suggest that particular legislation is passed where they can get their reparations for the HBCUs. They don't say anything. It's a lot of black performers who are famous right now, graduated from HBCUs, but don't mention them. They don't do benefit concerts for them. You got black folks who are widely known and famous people who work for the New York Times, New York Post. They work for very popular mainstream entities, and they don't mention it. It's usually these black people who really have no connection to HBCUs. Some of them might have a white wife or a white husband, but mainly a white wife. And they'll come back and they'll not bail out, but they'll pay for every graduate's tuition and loans at HBCU. And it's usually not your favorite black person who does that. It's the one that you don't expect to do it. So, you know, Deion being in that mainstream space does benefit HBCUs, believe it or not. And shout out to my HBCU. I'm a proud graduate 2 times of Grambling State University. And if I mess around and get on that mainstream, if I can go mainstream, I'm going to always wear a Grambling sweatshirt, Grambling something, because I want Grambling and other HBCUs to really come up to what they're doing. But, you know, but I need HBCUs to start thinking, you know, in a way that will, you know, propel us to the front of the line like we should have been all the time. Get it? You know, there are other numbers that have come out, you know, during the first season or the first games or whatever of Colorado. We generated $18 million for Colorado. The tickets are selling like hotcakes. You can't hardly get a ticket at Boulder. The city of Boulder, Colorado is like, 1.3% black, and the school is 2.6% black. Out of 36,000 students, 2.6 are black students, majority of them being athletes. Yeah, it's just like a lot of these big white schools with multi-billion-dollar endowments. But hey, sometimes it's just like I said in another video, we have to almost go away from our hometowns to become famous in order to be considered somebody in our hometowns. Unless other people deem us worthy of being looked at as celebrity or valuable or what have you. So I just want to share that. Continue the good work. And let's continue to look out for Deion. Let's continue to learn some things. Because when people are living their legendary, we should all be learning as they're living. Don't wait till somebody's no longer with us. All of a sudden, we're studying their notes. When they're right there writing the legacy, living the legacy, writing the notes of the legendary status right before our eyes. Let's take notes. When he was at Jackson State, the folks, the students, the city, all the folks that should have been taking notes. Now, I hope those who took notes took enough to know what to do next. Now, while he's at Boulder and got the world's attention, we as African Americans need to be taking notes. Even those of us who attended and currently attend the HBCUs need to be taking notes on how we can take what he's doing and bring it back home. That is how it should be done. We can't all just try to crowd the space. He said, but Deion's going to attach. He's going to Deion's going to attract all of the top 5 recruits once that portal opens up. When they start after the season, all the top players going to play for Deion, and that's cool. And we wished all the top players would want to come to Grambling, Southern, Jackson State, Mississippi Valley, Alcorn, Tennessee State. We wish they would, but we don't have that kind of attraction. Deion is an attraction. We need to really, really amp up our support, our own image, because we live in the days of social media. There's no reason why money should not be flowing into HBCUs. We have thousands upon thousands of young people who have access to all forms of social media platforms. Our HBCUs should be extremely popular among black kids. We may not get the top athletic recruits, but we can definitely get students on the campus and in the dorm rooms by us being our own individual recruiters. There doesn't have to be a recruitment department at these HBCUs to recruit for students. Whenever you wear your HBCU sweatshirt, cap on or license plate or flag, that is recruitment. And throw events to invite, or we volunteer and go to schools and invite our young people to come. That's how you do it. You can recruit on your own. You don't have to have like some system at the school to do it. Because I always said a lot of these HBCUs need larger recruitment budgets, for students. But anyway, y'all, this is your man, Rico the Opinionist. Thank you so much. Shantae, how you doing, sweetheart? Charles, what's up, my man? Like, share, and subscribe. I'm coming back with another video in a minute. I just want to share my thoughts on that. And Deion, keep doing your thing. Travis Hunter, get well soon. Get well soon. Take your time, young brother. It's going to be all right. I'm sure there's a couple other players who can, hold your spot down until you come back. And I'm sure they're going to be great as well. And let's all grab a straw and just kind of get a little sip of this thing that's called Prime. What's that? Coach Prime. The Prime Initiative. How about that? Let's all get a little dose of this Prime Initiative. All right, so y'all be cool. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Oh, yeah, and stop calling that coach again. That coach at Colorado State is not black. He's mixed race or biracial. Mixed race and biracial is not black. You can't take whole or multiple stuff. Can't take a half and make a whole. It doesn't work like that, okay? And please spare me. Well, it's not how society sees him. No, it's how he sees himself. He doesn't see himself as a black man, except for when it for accolades. See, a lot of these biracial and mixed race, light-skinned folks and what have you accept the African-American accolades, but they themselves don't live as black folks. And they work hard to show white folks, no, I'm not black, I'm mixed. See, my husband white, my children are clear. I made sure we had no black kids. You got even black people that look like Whoopi Goldberg, make sure that they don't have no black kids. And that goes into a deeper psychological study there. And we have black people who purposely try to erase their own genetics by purposely mixing their race or marrying non-black people to make sure their children don't have any African DNA. That's another video, but I just wanted to share that. So stop calling that coach of Colorado black. He's not black. And stop using white racist talking points. It reminds me of that one drop rule that was racist. You're gonna go in there, you're gonna rape some African women. Then when the children come out, you call them nigger and you call them black and all that stuff. They need to cut it out. Because one thing about white people that I do appreciate, they do know what white is. You can say, well, they all think they're pure. Well, they know what white is. And if you got Asian in you, if you got Hispanic in you, you got black in you, they don't call you white. They call you black or other. How come we don't understand what a black person is? For those of you, let me give you a quick lesson. Well, let me ask you some questions. And I'm sure, Jay Norville knows what it is. He knows he's not black, but he'll take the black accolades. The first African-American coach. He's the first, he is, and Ezell, what was the name of the coach of the 49ers, that little biracial dude that people want to call black? Charles, do you know who that is? That little black dude? They gave about $700 million contract. They played the quarterback of the Jaguars last year in the Super Bowl. I think that was his name. He was an actual black dude. But what was the other guy? I can't ever get his name. Any one of y'all know his name? Those of you in the chat? What's that dude's name? I think he's the quarterback of the 49ers. Oh, is he the quarterback of the 49ers? Anybody know? But anyway, he never refers to himself as black. Yeah, he got a black daddy, but he doesn't live as a black dude. He got a white wife, and he had those non-black clear children, which is fine. He wanted children in his image. And I don't understand why black people don't like to have children in their image. Yeah. But anyway, Jay Norville doesn't live as a black man. He lives as a country white guy. My mama taught me that when I'm around adults, I'll take my hats off and my shades off. What kind of BS was that? Just play the game, huh, bro? Brother. So, but anyway, stop doing that. Oh yeah, this is what I'm about to ask y'all. Okay. What two people need to come together to create a white baby? What two people need to come together to create an Asian baby? And what two people need to come together to create a Mexican baby? And what two people need to come together? And now get this might be just a hard one here. Black people seem to understand this question, but here it is. What two people need to come together to create a black baby? Y'all enjoy it. Y'all let me know in the chat, in the chat. Y'all let me know, in the chat what the answer is to those questions. And I'll see you on the next video. I'm Rico the Opinionist. Check out the description box. It's got a lot of cool goodies in there. My short story is still there. It's only $10. Cash App your boy Rico the Opinionist. A PayPal, Rico the Opinionist. I take Zelle too. I think it's Mariko Rivers or something like that. Or you let me make requests to you and you respond. How about that on my Zelle? Y'all be easy. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.